And you can see this is completely done in ink now, so we'll now erase it using an eraser. As you can see, I've outlined using ink my pencil sketch, and I've used a dip pen to go all the way around, and then I will use an eraser to delete the graphite underneath. Beatrix Potter used a dip pen, and I like the traditionalness of it. I've actually had to do this drawing again, so it might look slightly different to yesterday's, and I'll link the video in with this one, as this is part 2. And of course, Peter Rabbit is not looking too happy, is he? Benjamin Bunny is filling the handkerchief with onions from Mr. McGregor's garden. I wonder if they'll get out all right with all of their onions. I do like the feel of a dip pen. The texture on watercolour paper is really nice. You can hear the scratchiness, the sketch effect. And the ink, of course, is permanent and waterproof, so you can use watercolours and it won't smudge. So, what I've now done is erased everything. It's all outlined, and we're now using the Schmincke watercolours to start painting it all in. I've got 2 pots of water, one for getting all the paint off and one for actual paint water, so it will make the water last a lot longer. We have 2 brushes, a thin and a thick, and what we're going to do is just paint in the background green for the moment, just one basic shade, because there's lots of greens in the garden, but it tends that the background, you want to just have it pale, because you don't want it to detract the background, just want it all to blend. Once it's dry, we will then use a lighter green to highlight the actual onion stems, the green of the stems. Okay, we wash in the second one and just use the tissue that the little pops are on. I don't know if you can see that in the camera. And then we will use the blue. I'm just using a standard blue for his jacket, but remember, it would be the Winsor & Newton Ultramarine, but I haven't got that because I'm using Schmincke watercolours, and I only have a particular colour range, not the whole set. And like I've said earlier, I'm not copying exactly, otherwise I'd have used tracing paper. I've drawn this all by hand and by eye, so it is going to be unique to me. And the colours will be unique too. They will be as close as I can get it, but not exact copy. and just bring it down to the bottom of his jacket. He's not fully dressed unless he's got his jacket. Give it a good wash or dry, and then we'll move on to do Benjamin Bunny's jacket, which is a mix of a bit of terracotta-y brown, as I call it, and a bit of dark brown. So you have to do some colour mixing. Again, I'm not doing it exact. And then a bit more dark. And we will just do all that there. Make sure not to forget his second arm, like I did yesterday. For some reason my phone just got totally clogged up with the second video. Well, it was one whole video yesterday, but I had to cut it into two because it was so big. But the second half, it just, I don't know, totally would not download after editing. So I've had to do it again. And I'm hoping this time it will work and upload to YouTube for you all. There we go, there's his jacket. And then clean in the second. And just check into the first with the water. You can see, if you can see on camera, one water pot is looking much dirtier than the first. And now I think what we'll do is do the blanket, well, the handkerchief that they are putting their onions into. Some watery red in places. Just helps to identify parts of the picture so that I'm not painting over important onion stems or something. At times I will go quiet because I'm concentrating, but you can still follow along with me. And I hope that this will inspire you all, and maybe you'll have a go at doing some Beatrix Potter illustrations, because at this time of year it really does inspire me. The lovely television series in the mid-90s of Beatrix Potter TV series was really lovely. I think it was Moira or Miranda or some lady beginning with a Stockley, who did a lovely song called Perfect Day that accompanied the animated series. It was just very magical, and it always inspires me this time of year. A bit more yellow. I'm just going to be doing the onions a little. Because they are a little more, they're more yellow than brown, I find. And then I think we're going to move on and do a very pale brown. It's a little bit too dark. We just add some water and go all over. I decided against using the Derwent Graphy Tint pencils because though I eventually did find the correct colours, they weren't the exact colours I wanted for this particular illustration. So we'll do another illustration with those another time. There we are. And just add in down here. see, just going to do a bit of a darker brown for the underneath of Benjamin Bunny. Add a bit of darker blue to the brown and it will give you a more darker, almost blacky brown. I think Prussian blue adds a good brown for the fur. And as I said earlier, I'm using Fabriano watercolour paper. It's got a nice surface. Use this ready terracotta brown for his shoes. He's still got them at the moment. He hasn't lost them. They really are very naughty bunnies. And now I will use a light green. I will go in and do the tops of the stems of the onions. Okay. I think it's starting to take shape now, isn't it? Things always look better in colour, I find. Sometimes it isn't until it's coloured that you can see how it's going to look. Perfect. And then we will add a little bit of different green to the background just to help little bits stand out. I hope that this is inspiring you all, and maybe you'll think of subscribing to my channel unless you already have. And illustrations like this that you see me do here will next year be available for sale in my new Etsy shop. I haven't created it yet, so next year it will be, and you'll be able to buy these original paintings I do. But don't forget, in the meanwhile, my Redbubble shop is available for prints of any work, but not these, as I'm selling these for original. So they'll be unique to buyers. Just add a little bit of pale brown for the soil at the back, and then I will say we're done. And now I will just finish off doing Benjamin's paws, and I will say thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye. And this is what the finished illustration looks like. Not bad, is it?